Hello and welcome to my presentation of Chronos Trials RPG. This is Viste. I'm the solo developer of this game currently, and this is just sort of a presentation of how the game looks so far. I want to clarify a few things before we start. One, I am about a week into development at this point. Most of the assets are still placeholders. There's a lot of placeholders everywhere. Graphically, it's not going to look great, but I just want you to understand that if there's any bugs or anything that could pop up in this video, it will be fixed by release. This is a week into development. I just want to sort of show you what type of game this is going to be and all of the cool features I've implemented so far, just so you've got something to look forward to. So, first thing worth mentioning, I am playing on PC, but as you can see, it's portrait. This is because this is going to be a mobile game initially. This is how I'm developing it. I'm developing it as a mobile game first. And then once that's released, I'm then going to translate it to PC with a widescreen mode. So let's start. So first things first, we've got 30 at the top here. This is how many battles we have. Every time we fight an enemy, this goes down by 1. If we lose the fight, it goes down by 3 instead. When it's hit 0, we just restart the run exactly where we are now, level 1, but we keep all of the equipment we found. So it's kind of like a roguelite. We can click to go wherever we want, or we can use the arrow keys to move around if we're on PC. And on the bottom left, we can see it says level 1, and that is obviously our current level. So, before we start, there is a little secret chest behind here, which we can open to get an attack gem. Chests will be a feature in this game. I want to incentivize exploration, going sort of behind houses, going off the beaten track. So that will be a feature. If we go to our equipment menu, there we go. We can see that we've already got some equipment. This is just your starting gear. So we're going to go and equip the accessory we just got. Gain 5 attack. We can see it goes from 13 to 18. So let's equip that. Very nice. Now, to quickly explain something. Novels here. The character will have access to 3 novels at any given time. And what these do is these buff your stats whenever you level up. So if I leveled up, in the next fight, which I will get plus 4 health for every time I level up, and I'll also get plus 1 to every other stat. You get this immediately upon starting the game. This is how you actually start progressing. And what's cool about this is you can stack novels however you want. So if you really want to upgrade your luck, because you're trying to go for drop rate specifically, you can have 2 novels that drastically buff your luck whenever you level up, but sacrificing some strength, defense, dexterity, and all of that. Or you can choose to be a jack of all trades. You can have a few adventuring novels. You can have some HP, some defense, some attack. It just lets you sort of distribute your stats without having to manually go and do it after every single combat. This just means you can sort of quickly do fights without having to, escape to a stat screen, put your stats where you want to, split them up. It just makes it a little bit more efficient and just gives some extra items you can drop from enemies. So let's do our first fight. Here we go. So this is the combat screen currently, and there's a few things I want to point out. Top left here, this is gold, and this shows us how much we're going to get from fighting this enemy and winning. So currently we're going to get 10, and this number will change with all the variables that are in the game. This won't just be the base gold, it will be the total gold after everything is counted. This icon here, this is going to change in the future. This is a placeholder. But this icon here shows us that the enemy has an item that we do not have in our inventory yet. So that means that there's an item that we want to get from this enemy. So we're just going to fight and see if we get it. There we go. We can see we've leveled up. Oh, first try, we got the item. There we go. We got Bat Tooth. It is a common accessory. We can see there. So let's go and equip that. And there we go. We can see Bat Tooth increases our critical chance by 2%, and it increases our attack by 3%. So I'm going to equip that. Very nice. Again, this is a placeholder image. If there's any images that don't look right, it's a placeholder. Just bear that in mind. With accessories, we can get up to 3 at any time. And we can see now we have the accessory in our inventory. This will actually show us what item the enemy drops. This means that we don't have to try and memorize every single enemy in the game in terms of what they drop and how much gold they give. It's just a little bit easier. I don't want this to be a wiki game where you've got to go and look at a wiki every time you try and find an item. So this is just a matter of convenience. So it lets you see if you need to get any items from an enemy, if you've missed anything, and it reminds you, hey, you've already got this item. Another thing you can see in the top left, it says ×5 gold. This is a random event. Random events have a low chance of happening every combat, and it can give you things like extra gold, extra experience, or even doubling drop rates in some cases. This just keeps some battles interesting, and if you get ×2 drop rate on a really rare item, then happy days. And you can see the 10 gold is turned into 50. It adapts with this, so it just shows us exactly how much we're going to get. Cool. And we've got another bat tooth. I'm feeling lucky today, I guess. I promise you, drop rate is not that high. So we're going to go and equip that, and we're going to fight it one more time, just see if we can get 3 for 3. No, okay, that's fine. There we go. So let's go on to our next enemy, a slime. Here, again, we can see it has an item we haven't got yet. And we didn't get it first time, which is fine. Oh, here we go, ×2 drop chance. So hopefully... No, okay. ×2 isn't guaranteed, obviously. It's going from like 10 to 20%. That's fine. We'll just find like maybe 2 more times, see if we can get it. Nice, okay. Right, let's go to our next enemy, level 8. I think we can fight this guy like twice. Nice. Cool. So now we're level 17. We can see we've got a boss. Bosses are a little bit different to normal enemies, so we're just going to go right into it and give it a go. Now, even though it says level 20, because we've got the accessories that we do, it means that we're a little bit stronger than our current level. There we go, so we're now level 23. We do not get the item, but we do get a skill point and 2 energy. Whenever you beat a boss, you increase your energy by 2 or 3, or however much the boss gives you, but it increases your energy instead of depleting it, and you get a skill point. So I'm just going to quickly go to the skill tree and show you what that looks like. There we go. So this is the skill tree, and as you can see, we currently have 2 skills available, plus 4% attack or plus 4% defense. Now, I quite like being a glass cannon, so I'm going to go for the plus 4 attack, or plus 4%. Now, as you can see, as we've done that, we've spent one of our skill points. You can see we've got none now. And we've unlocked 2 more skills. Green means we've unlocked it and it's active. Yellow means it's available for purchase. Now, obviously, we cannot interact with either of these because we haven't got any skill points, but we can come back later and get these. So I'm just going to return, and you can see I'm exactly back to where I was when I left. And let's just go and fight our next enemy. Hello. So the cool thing about skill trees is their effects are permanent. They last throughout run after run. And it's another way to permanently power yourself up without having to use items. This means that if you, let's say you push really far and you have like a really good run where you get like really good modifiers, you find really cool items, you beat like the hardest boss you've beaten so far, but you don't get the item drop, it means that you still get some sort of progression through the skill point. Because if you don't get the item and then you immediately restart the run, you may end up just going back to that enemy exactly the same way and keep doing that until you get the item to push you forward. At least the extra skill point gives you a little bit of a ticking point towards being able to make it a little bit further each run. So that's why I did that feature. There we are. We are quite strong now, so we're going to go and fight the captain. Now we can see this is the first enemy that has 2 item drops. Enemies can have up to 3. There'll be another icon here if there's a 3rd item. Maybe there's some cases where I add more, it really depends. But most likely there will be a max of 3. And we go and see we're just sort of really clearing for our health bar. Oh, and we got an item, chest plate. Very nice. This is our first armor. So let's go and equip that. And you can see that increases our defense from 51 to 66, which is quite significant. And already our equipment screen is looking quite nice. We've got a few accessories to play with. There we go. I'm going to fight him again and see if I can get the other item. Nope. One more time. Okay, that's fine. We're level 49, so I think we're safe to go and fight. Oh, that person should be there. Let me fix that with my debugging. If I can actually read that, that is not very helpful. Okay, there we go. That's where the boss should be. So, right, let me go and find this guy. That's the issue with copying and pasting. Sometimes I forget to change things in the code that are quite essential. Alright, so second boss here. Pretend that didn't happen. Here we go, let's fight this person. Oh, we actually might not win this. No, we don't. Unless we crit. Okay. There we go. So we can see we've lost quite a few energy for that. So I'm going to fight this guy a couple of times to get our experience up. To be fair, I am lacking some pretty crucial items so far. So there we go. Nice. Alright, let's now fight this character. We should be able to clear this. Oh yeah, there you go. Critical hit straight away helps a lot. Nice. Oh, we got the item. Experience gem. There we go. And we got a... Okay, I need to fix that. Bear me a second. There we go. Alright, we beat that boss. Yay. Alright, cool. We're here now. Let me equip my experience gem, actually. There we go. So we get plus 20% experience, which is going to make leveling up a lot easier. There we go. Nice. Cool. So dexterity. This is our stat that affects how much damage our critical hits do. And the formula is essentially a minimum of 3 times the damage. But then if we have more dexterity than the opponent, that will start tipping it more towards 4 times, 5 times, and capping out at 10 times the damage. But you need like 4 times the dexterity of your opponent to be able to do that. Crit chance will be fairly rare in this game. I don't want it to be like an absolute given. Like 100% will never be achievable, unless there's a severe downside with it. But agility is still definitely worth investing into, and I might see if there's another use case I can make for it to make it even more viable. Oh yeah, nice. Times 2 experience. This is good. There we go. 118. Alright, let's go and fight this boss. We should be able to clear this fairly easily. Yeah, there we go. Oh, times 2 experience. Well, we are... Yeah, this is a good one, actually. There we go. No skill... Okay, we got the skill point, but no item. That's fine. Oh, I've got 2 skill points. Here we go. So let's buff our crit chance, and I need to fix this text here. It's a little bit too close together. Let's increase our counter attack rate. Oh, this is... Like I say, this is very early in development, so there's going to be a few bugs here and there. That's fine. Cool. I also don't think my energy increased from that boss. That's fine. All of this will be fixed. Next week. Or the week after. I'll do another video and you'll see how much better the game is already. We're just clearing through these bosses now quite quickly. Ooh, actually, no, maybe not. Oh, 10 health. Okay. That was a bit risky. I'm going to buff my defense a little bit. There we go. Nice. Right, we have 1 energy left. Okay, yeah, I don't think we did this. Oh, do that again. Nah, that's fine. Alright, here we go. So, we can see we've got -2 energy. So, you know, we've run out. And restarting the run is as simple as going here and restarting a loop. And you can see we're back here. We've got 30 energy, 1 level. If we go to our equipment, we can see we've kept everything. If we go to our skill tree, we can see we've kept our skill tree. Which means we should just be able to go and fight this guy pretty quickly. There we go. And that means we can just sort of drastically speed up the process. And we got Garrett's headband. Very nice. This is a unique item. This is what I was talking about. You can only get 1 of these in an entire run. There we go. So let's go and equip that. So Garrett's headband is a very nice item to get early on. We get 5 defense, 5 attack, 50 health, and 10% extra bonus health. So we're going to equip that. And I'm actually going to farm this little slime because this guy's got a pretty nice item drop to have early on. And again, I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, but the pity counter is going to come into play here. If we fight an enemy several times in a row, its item drops get more and more common, essentially. Only by a small amount, like 1%, 2%. It does happen. Normally it will cap after... There we go, we got our health gem +1. There we go. Let's go and equip that. So that improves our health by almost 110 now. Which means we should be able to fight the captain. There we go. Nice. I'm going to play quite aggressively here. Just really try and push forwards. Actually, I might be a little bit too weak to do that fight, so I'm just going to do this guy a couple of times. Now, what's cool about the Garrett's Headband is it's actually 10% to our HP, means that whenever we level up, we actually get 4.4 HP instead of just 4 because of the extra 10%. So, you know, percentage multipliers are very, very strong, especially when combining with level up effects. There we go. Nice. Oh, we got a steel sword as well. That's our first weapon, I believe. Yeah, it is. There we go. So 130%, so that increases by quite a nice amount. So I'm just going to equip that, and that should make the next few fights much easier. I need to fix these bosses not giving energy. That is something I'll make a note of and fix. Like I said, if there's any sort of major errors, forgive me. It is a week into development. There are things I've missed. And we've received our first novel. There we go. So, let's go and equip this. There we go. +5 max health per level up. So that means every time we level up, we are going to get +4 health, +1 to every other stat, and another 5 health on top of that. So that means we're going to get 9 HP every time we level up from now on. This novels do not take into account previous levels earned. It is specifically an effect that happens when you level up whilst you've got it equipped. There we go. So we're going to go and fight this boss, and we should see that our health is going to rise pretty dramatically. There we go. It's 100 for that one fight. I'm going to go and fight this enemy down here. Nice, yeah, we're really clearing through these now. Enchanted robes, we got another armor. There we go. That increase, well, it doesn't give us any amount of defense as a flat amount, but it does give us quite a nice percentage, which is more important at this point. So we only get +6 defense, but as we level up, that will become a much bigger difference compared to the armor chest plate. Cool, so let's go and fight this fight. Well, this is actually a fairly close one. Maybe like 50 health left. Yeah, nice. There we go. So we got 2 energy apparently. I don't think we did. I'm going to fight this enemy a couple of times just to get our experience and health up. I think 2,000 health is a nice place to be for this next fight. Cool. So this is like the first major boss, I'd say. There we go. He's got 2 item drops. Let's give him a go. Oh wow, the critical hit. 2 crits in the row. Okay. We lucked out there quite a lot. There we go. Alright, let's leave. Go to my equipment. What did I get? No, I got a skill point, didn't I? Yeah, there we go. So I'm going to increase my crit chance even more because it's working really nicely for me at the minute. There we go. Now, if we do a little bit of exploring, we can see that we've actually got another house up here to the right. So let's fight this boss. And we should be able to just one-shot her, more or less. There we go. Another skill point. Very nice. I'm going to get some extra health. Just to quickly show you, 2,500 health. After the extra 4%, that goes to 2.6. So it does have an effect. There we go. Let's go in here. We can see it's a pretty rough house, but it's got a chest here with a defense gem. And I'm going to equip that over the... Actually, no, I'm not. I think the bat tooths are actually quite helpful here with the crit chance. There we go. So we've actually got a secret area down here. So I'm going to fight this enemy. I noticed I didn't start full HP there because of the new skill tree. I need to have a recover option whenever I do that. That's fine. Cool, and then let's go and try and fight this boss down here. This one's a pretty tough one, but I think we've got quite a lot of really nice equipment that make it quite easy. Yeah, very nice. So that is pretty much where we're at the minute. There is another area, but you've seen everything I wanted to see for now. And I don't want to spoil too much. So I thought I'd just show you sort of the starting area and the hidden area there. So that is pretty much it. One thing I do want to show you actually is equipment sets. Now this I feel is really important for this type of game. Equipment set 1 we can see is this. But let's say we want to have an equipment set where we have no items equipped. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but the option's there. If we go back to equipment set 1, we can see it's saved our first equipment set. If we go to equipment set 2, we can see it's back to our one without any items. If I want to remember that equipment set 2 is the clear one, I can erase it and just go clear. Forgot the alphabet there for a second. Clear. Now if I go to equipment sets, I can see that it's renamed it. I can also rename the first one to be my full just gear. There we go. And when I go to my equipment sets, gear gives me all of my items, and then in clear removes them. If we want to restart the game, let's say we've got an item that we're grinding for and we don't want to just waste 6 battles, we can just restart the loop, immediately brings us back, but we keep all of the items we found in that previous run. So that is Chronos Trials RPG so far. Hopefully this video has given you a little bit of insight into what the game's currently looking like, the general gameplay loop. And like I say, I know there's been a few bugs in this video. Please ignore them for now because they will be fixed. This is a week into development and I'm still working on everything. I'm trying to figure out everything. So yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed the video. Hopefully you're excited for the game. Like I say, I'm going to change as much of the art as possible. You can see I've already made a bit of an effort with the equipment screen and sort of the general HUDs and all of that. So yeah, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. I've linked to the Discord server in my description if you're not a part of it and you want to follow the development of this game. Yeah, thank you. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments.